Unbelievable. Just when it seemed like Milan were going to pull off an incredible result at the Juventus Stadium and end Juve's streak in the Serie A at home, a 95th minute penalty is awarded. Paulo Dybala steps up and makes no mistake. 2-1 it ends, and everyone erupts basically. So before we get into that controversy, a quick recap. It was a game that was very much dominated by Juventus, particularly in that first half. I think they had 13 shots just in the first 45 minutes. When they scored the first goal, it looked like they were going to go on with it. It was a great little play, Dybala to Dani Alves with a brilliant little touch over the defence to Benatia, who buried it. And as I said, it looked like they were going to get one or two more easily before half-time. They were creating a lot of chances. Milan's defence was struggling, particularly with Dybala, who was looking so dangerous. But they were holding on, and mainly because of one Gigi Donnarumma in goal, who kept keeping Milan in the game. And 1-0 was looking good to go into half-time for Milan. They had held on. And then, next thing we know, on the counter, Gerard Deulofeu showed a great deal of pace and composure to run it basically all the way to the box and timed it perfectly to give it off to Carlos Bacca, who made no mistake of a one-on-one opportunity and made it 1-1 at half-time. So a bit of a shock result at half-time, but many of us were expecting Juve to come out there and, I guess, finish the job, which they had failed to do in the first half. The game died a little in the second half. The quality wasn't quite there, but we were still waiting for Juve to kind of press on with it. And they were getting closer and closer. The pressure was mounting on Milan. They were very much dropping back, defending for their lives. It was made harder with Jose Sosa receiving a second yellow, and he saw red. But it looked like they might actually do it. They were gonna hold on. And then, just when it seemed like Milan were going to end this crazy 30-match winning streak in the Serie A at the Juventus Stadium, a 95th minute penalty. So a ball on the edge of the box is played in, it hits Mattia De Sciglio's hand. I think there's no argument that it did hit his hand, and the penalty is awarded. More on the penalty in a second, but Paulo Dybala, he steps up. It was a big chance for him. You can imagine the pressure because he did miss that penalty against Milan in the Super Cup. So this was a big chance for him to make amends. And to his credit, he made no mistake. It was a great penalty, even though Donnarumma got close to it, but it wasn't quite enough. Firstly, with Donnarumma, you've got to feel for the guy. He was hands down the best on pitch. I don't think anyone can argue with that. He had 9 registered saves, but the maturity and the calmness he showed in goal was so much beyond his years. So, my heart really goes out to the kid. He did an incredible effort and basically was going to earn that point for Milan single-handedly. To the penalty itself, look, it does hit De Sciglio's hand. He clearly doesn't mean for his hand to come into contact with the ball, but at the same time, it is in an unnatural position. So, look, I think you can make a reasonable argument for both sides. So I don't see there being a lot of controversy on the decision itself. To be honest, I see a lot more controversy in the decisions made in the Napoli game than this one. But once again, we're talking about everything but the football, and Twitter's already blowing up with their anti-Juve sentiments. And look, I'm an Inter fan. I don't want to see Juve winning week after week, year after year, but at the end of the day, I think many of us in the community need to concentrate on how these teams are going to close the gap to Juve, and less about how some of us might think the refs are helping Juve to continually win. If we're honest with it ourselves, Juve are week to week the best team in Serie A. There's no real disputing that. So look, it sucks for any fans who aren't pro-Juventus, let's say, but it is what it is, and I think we really need to move on from that kind of talk, from being so negative. I do agree that the general standard of the refereeing in Serie A has been pretty poor of late in the last couple months, in 2017 to be honest, and that is an issue, don't get me wrong, but I don't think, I think it's a sad reflection of the football culture if every time something goes against us we're constantly blaming a referee. So it is what it is. I think we've got to try and look at both sides of the story. It is annoying, but on the balance of play, look, Juventus were the better team. 24 shots to 6, 59% possession, but I mean, you still can't help but feel for Milan. Their hearts were broken, and Donnarumma particularly. I mean, Donnarumma actually came out at the end and said, it's not possible, it's always them. Possibly he might regret saying that in the heat of the moment, but what can you do? It's just one of those things. We have to move on, I think. Hopefully the next major game we can talk about some football on the pitch and less about these referees. That's it from me. Huge game, huge controversy. We're going to hear a lot from this all weekend, so prepare yourselves for that. But until next time, it's ciao for now.